Greetings, YouTube. This is Fragments of Memory once more again. And as I was just sitting around thinking, I got a new topic. It's called Vicarious Living. Tonight, I've been thinking a lot about things. I've been just really reevaluating some things in my own life and just looking at the world around us. And as the self-help author Wayne Dyer talked about, we live in a culture of critics. That's right, we live in a culture of critics. This is true. We even pay to hear critics, I think he is quoted as saying in his book, Erroneous Zones. And I noticed this where when we want to see a movie, we don't just say, hey, let me go take a chance on the movie based on the trailer or the preview of the movie. What we do is we listen to the critical reviews. We read the reviews. We wonder what Ebert and Roper are talking about or whatever other critics are out there. And we decide whether or not we're going to watch the movie based on their criticism. This is also true in the regard of not only films, books. We'll read a book because it got good reviews. Not necessarily, hey, let me check out some reading for myself, but did the book get good reviews? Now, I'm of the opinion, I think someone else's opinion can be valuable and it can be helpful, but at the same time, you got to make up your own mind after all the opinions, after all the discussion is done. And I noticed that we live in a culture of critics. Or we can go to a political level. The political commentator gives their opinion about whether or not the candidate is right. Either they're an evil communist or they're an evil capitalist or whatever the case might be. We take the opinion of the commentator. Why do you think people like Keith Olbermann and Sean Hannity are big names? Because we value their opinions. These are mere broadcasters giving us their opinion, but somehow their opinion is more powerful because they have a platform and a bullhorn and a pulpit in which to speak it from. Now, this is why I say we live in a voyeuristic culture. Even as we look at the pornography industry, just look at that. We pay money or download it illegally to watch other people have sex. Why can't we go out and have sex? Ideally with a wife or husband, not sleeping around. But even if you are in a relationship, why don't we just have sex instead of watching other people have sex? Or why do we watch people cook? Or why do we watch people date? I mean, look at the nature of reality television. Why are we looking at people live their lives when we can just go on ahead and live our own? I ask myself these questions because I sometimes wonder, am I a voyeur? Because I personally do believe we live in a voyeuristic culture. And it's often very easy to sit back and comment on what others are doing without us having to do anything. And I think there is a saying attributed to Aristotle which says, Aristotle said, for those who are to be judges must first be performers. And a lot of times we're doing a lot of judging and we haven't really performed. And we're quick to give our opinion and give our little sound bite and say what we think is on our minds. But in reality, we've never really done it, but we want to give an opinion about it, which I think is very funny. It's easy for me to sit at home on my couch with a can of beer and some Doritos talking about some, yeah, man, you can't catch to save your life, but here I am sitting on the couch eating Doritos and drinking beer. I'm not out here playing in that game or trying to make that tackle or trying to handle business as far as the game goes. And it's very easy for me to sit back and say that actor gave a bad performance, having not acted myself. I mean, I have back in high school, but you understand what I'm saying. We also get into the whole perspective of, man, I want to say this and such, but we really don't know what we're talking about because we're rambling about, oh, this guy could have done this better and he so could have done this better. And yes, there's the argument of, you can go out and see from without, like if you're not involved in it, you're not encumbered by any prejudices or anything like that. You can be on the outside looking in, but let's keep it real, folks. How many of us have been on baseball teams and basketball teams? And I mean on a professional level where there's a paycheck involved. I don't mean like for your school or for the community. I mean for like an actual paycheck. And when you know that's your job, it might be a little different. Just like acting professionally versus acting on stage or singing, even if it's just amateur, just that whole idea of getting up on stage in front of people, that takes a lot of courage. That takes a lot of guts, man. So, for those that wish to be critics without the benefit of being a performer, I say, shame on you. You got to do it yourself before you start talking about other folks. And we should not try to live vicariously through others. Now, I've said my piece on that, and this is just another armchair philosophy rant. So, peace go with you, and hopefully these words will sink in.